My name's Jamie. I'm demonstrating a beadhead muddler minnow tonight. I've already got one tied here. I'll zoom in a little closer. Out of focus, I apologize, but yeah, I guess real big fly for us over here on Vancouver Island. We use it quite a lot in the rivers in the spring as fly patterns. Do really well in it, and the tan colors and green and black as well. And they're really great on the beach as well for sea run cutthroat. So huge staple for us over here. I'm not the originator of this fly. This fly has been around, the west coast of BC for a very long time. I have no clue who developed it, but great sort of small, sparse muddler pattern. As I say, really effective, imitates fry, and rainbows, browns, and cutthroats hammer it. So I'll get going. So here, I'll bring it a little closer here. You're doing so. Starting with basic streamer hook, size 6 or 8. I'm demonstrating on a size 6. I'm mostly tied a bit smaller on a size 8, but our fish on a size 8. I'll use a 6 tonight just because it's a bit bigger. And then using a gold beadhead. Doesn't really matter if you use silver, gold, white, black, whatever. You can even add some color to it. It would look really cool. You could even make it sort of like an egg sucking muddler if you wanted, right? Go with it with a bright hot color as well. First thing I always do is I pinch my barb. I fish barb this pretty much 99% of the time. And I'm going to pinch it now rather than, I was always taught, pinch it now rather than pinch it later. You might have spent 20 minutes tying a fly to break the hook is stupid, right? You can either, have it done all in. Put my bead head on. I didn't do a very good job pinching that barb. All right, I'm using nano silk. It helps to have a sort of a pretty strong thread for using deer head. I use this a lot of my time, majority of it, just because it's super thin. It is a bit slippery. It is difficult to sort of start on the hook. Another issue to it is very strong. If you pull too hard, it can cut through your deer hair. So you got to be a little careful there. But I'd rather have thread not breaking when I'm spinning the deer hair. So I'd rather use a pretty strong head. So leave a bit of a gap from your bead too. It's better to have bare hook. The deer hair is going to spin a lot better. And then just lay thread base back down to the hook bend. Let me know if I'm moving too fast for you guys or if I'm moving too slow. Or I've picked a sort of a longer one here, and I'll go in there and find a good clump for a tail.
All I have is Hungarian partridge. That's going to work, yeah?
You know what? It doesn't matter.
Great.
And again, like, I don't think a tail is really necessary with a muddler. The barred look, I think, helps. Makes it look really sort of fryish. But if any part of this fly, if you had to admit it, you could fish it with or without a tail. I've also I like using a lot of synthetic stuff, so I'll use whereas I don't have it out, but I'll use like that that predator wrap. Works good as well. I had a fly tied a while ago. It had it, and it just basically a little bit of barred stuff. I like it sort of going up like this. Don't know if it matters, but the traditional muddler pattern has a turkey tail going up, so that's why I do it that way. I've got it out maybe an inch, 3/4 of an inch out the back. Here we go, your tail's in. Next is I'm going to add in some tinsel. I am a huge Lagerton fan. I've got this probably about 10 different colors of it. I use it all the time. Super easy to wrap. I hate regular tinsel. Sort of a nice braid, got some good flash to it, some good sparkle. This is what I love. Now, any gold tinsel would work. You don't have gold tinsel, you could even wrap some of this stuff. Doesn't really matter. You just laying down a shiny base. So cut a small piece of this.
Hey Jamie, did you wrap your tail in? You went up and back on the butts of your tail?
Yeah, it's wrapped in. What I've sort of doing is trying to make it an even base, right? That's why I went up and down it a few times.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't see that part, so I just
yeah.
that's
So
why
I went up and back down.
Okay.
It really doesn't matter if you do that or not, but basically I'm going to start here. So I'm going to lay this in, and then I'm going to put a rib in as well. So I like to have this. I'll wrap this one way. I wrap it. I'm just trying to think it. I wrap this clockwise, and then I'll do a counterclockwise wrap with a rib, and that'll just be gold wire. You could use silver wire, doesn't really matter. I just got gold wire out. Really all you're doing is just making it so the fly doesn't come apart. And I'm sort of bringing my material to right here. I'm leaving a good gap of bare hook there for when I tie my deer hair in. Okay. Next, gold wire. Only reason I'm tying this in, it doesn't really add anything. Sometimes with the green one, I'll use like a green one. I use it's like a pearl wrap, and then I've got a green wire. I don't know if it adds anything. I just think it looks cool because I own some green wire.
So you tie them in individually then? You're tying in?
Yeah, so I've got this in here, and then this one's going in right sort of on top of it. Okay, so I've got my thread here. My first step, as I say, I wind this clockwise. It doesn't matter if you wind this clockwise or counterclockwise. I just like going the opposite direction with the wire. I just think it provides better security. I don't know if that's true or not, but I figure it cannot not help her. How's everyone doing?
No, I'm just now wrapping the flash on, so I don't know how anybody else is doing.
Great, buddy.
I'll take a second here. Sip of whiskey.
That's right.
I don't have as wide a flash as you do.
Yeah, I like it. It's super wide. It lays down really, really nice. This stuff's not cheap. It's like $9 for one of these things. I need another one. Actually, it might even be $10 now, inflation. But a lot of them I've got written say $9. So I bought most of them at $9. But
So they almost ought to give it away to us Americans with our American dollar, right?
American, 250, isn't it?
I don't know. I just got a bunch of stuff from Canadian Tube Fly Company. Oh shoot.
Yeah, as I say, this is my stash of the stuff, right? I've got every different color. And I think I've got another one here over here. So I love this stuff.
I never
So
wrap.
Jamie, this color pattern, what do you fish it for? How would you present it? What fish target do you have?
So I'll fish it both on a single hand and with a trout spey. I'll swing it and then strip it. You know, lots of different things. On the beach, I'll cast it out, strip it right into my tip. I will troll it on a lake. You know, basically it's just like sort of any streamer, right? You want movement, you want it making look like fry in the water, right?
So is the key to have the thinnest body possible?
I'm a
Going back
big
to flat tying?
fan of sparse. So yes, right? You know, I think when imitating the fry in the spring, it looks really good. Now I've got another buddy that, you know, he's always looking for big ass, huge browns, and he, you know, he'll tie the biggest muddler or biggest ugly sculpin he can find and chuck it right now. He'll probably do better on bigger fish, but I'd probably pick up more fish on one that looks like the same size as the fry. So, you know.
So for trout spey, for trout, gold is your favorite color?
No, I probably, this is the traditional sort of color and it's good, but I probably would lean to a green or a black one more in the river. Last
Okay,
year,
thank you.
I fished a lot of green. My buddy Keen fished black, and he caught a lot more fish than I did. And I started switching over to black, and had a couple of buddies. You know, I guess you've got a raft now too. A lot of times I'm in the rower's seat telling people what to fish and acting more like a guide rather than actually have a rod in the water. But
All right.
the black one did real well for us last year. So it's pretty much the same pattern with the black and green. I'd probably go with like a silver, or I've got this pearl color. Like that. It gives it more of a white look on the bottom. But you know, I've caught a lot of fish on this one too. So I'll get back going here. I'm going to wrap the wire in. I'm not like a lot of chronomic guys, like you've got to have exactly 4 or 5 wraps. I don't think it matters. I don't think fish can count. You just helicopter it off.
They can count, buddy. They're counting those wraps. I know they're.
Fuckers. That's why I don't catch very many fish then.
Need 6.
I can't couch. Can't count. More whiskey.
More whiskey.
What kind of whiskey?
Jameson.
Rough.
Heavy. Heavy.
Good stuff. Gotcha. So next step, I'm going to go back to that barred feather here. I'm going to look for a nice long piece here. Trim it off here. I'm going to tie that in.
Are you tying in the whole feather or are you stripping it off?
I just cut a little bit off. You can see I've used, I think, part of it for the tail and then the rest for the wing.
Yeah.
How are you putting it on, Jamie? You just mounting it straight off the top?
Yeah, straight off the top. I'm honestly not very good tying in wings. I think that's sort of something I struggle with, but I don't think the fish care. It's still back there. It still works.
Are you going the full length of the hook, halfway?
I've got it the full length, right to the back to the tail there. So when I lay it down, it matches the tail or close to it.
Hmm.
How's everyone making out?
Well, trying to build a wing. Speed a little bit.
There it went.
All right. Next step, patch of deer hair. I'm gonna sort of build a little more of a wing here. So I'm gonna use a deer hair stacker next. I'm gonna try and find some sort of straighter hair. A lot of these ones it's curling off like that. I think I want it sort of straight up. I
Can
like it
you
sparse.
use elk hair on this?
Is this elk hair? This is deer hair. Here you go. You're
No,
right.
can you use elk hair?
Yeah, you know what? You can. I think this might even be elk here, to be honest with you.
Okay, because yeah, I got a bunch floating around and I just have mostly elk hair, but I have one
Yeah.
patch of deer and it's like short. So
Yeah. So I'm gonna go with the deer hair here because I grabbed the wrong one there. Yeah, so basically the tips, I think it's the tips aren't as hollow as the base down here.
yeah,
The hollow parts, that's really sort of helps when it spins, right? But we're not
gotcha.
really spinning here. We're just building a little more of a wing. So I get a good clump here. I want these tips lined up. So I'm gonna throw them in my stacker.
How,
I don't know if you guys use the deer
how,
hair stacker or not, but it helps. I just bang it on the ground. Oh, banging too hard.
you want it to be what, as long as the hook again?
Yeah, no, it doesn't even need to go as far, but yeah, I think my deer hair is pretty bit short. That's probably why I grabbed that thing. So basically I'll just pull it out and I'll have all of those, most of them lined up here. I'm just gonna pull it out.
And are you doing a large clump or a small clump?
Small clump, not very big. I like it. So I'm gonna pick out a lot here. I'm gonna grab it here and I'm gonna pick the same out here. So they're all the same length. Not a whole lot there. Then
I'm gonna try this with elk and see how it goes.
elk will work fine. So trying to get it sort of the length there. I don't know if any of you guys are super experienced with deer hair, but when you go up, go with a loose wrap
Pull tight.
and then another loose strap, then pull tight.
And how long are you making this as long as the first wing or just a little shorter?
I've ended up being just a little shorter. I don't think it matters too much, but actually when I lay it down, it's about the length of the,
Get this wing to lay.
yeah. And really that wing, It's not super important. It just sort of, it's got that barred look. So I'm just gonna bring my thread forward here. Now this is where I've always struggled with my muddler, is leaving too much room, and I get like a super long, here's one I did last night just as a practice. And I left way too much room and I've got like a super long head. Probably will fish fine. It just doesn't look as good.
And grows into a new career as an astrophysicist.
I like it to be sort of a nice ball like that. So I'm happy where I've got this one left off.
They learn how on YouTube.
You guys a minute, because the next spot is sort of the most important of the muddler. Sort of.
13 Pro on us when you trade in your old or damaged phone. Here, the phone everyone wants on America's most reliable network. Better. That's not all.
Come on, wings.
I've got like a bit of a gap in between my bead and the bulk of the hair there. That's
Yeah, so I've got, I would say, maybe like 3 millimeters, or maybe a bit more, half a centimeter. You don't want
okay.
a
Yeah,
whole bunch.
that's about what I have.
Yeah, so that's a good spot.
Oh, okay. So we're putting something in front of the deer hair then.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, okay.
So all we're done is we built the wing here. So the next step is we will grab a good, sorry, I'm not on my camera, I was looking on. We'll grab another clump here. Now, on my patch here, I like these ones, are nice and straight. These ones in the back here are all bunk. So I'm going to use these for the next spot because they're not good for other stuff. This is where I'm going to grab a bigger pinch.
So I'm cutting this shit off here then, yeah?
Just 1 second, I'm not on your camera there. No, you will eventually, but just wrap forward and just push it back,
Oh, okay.
right? We're gonna get to that. We will cut it off, but we're gonna trim it. It's gonna be part of the
Gotcha.
part of the head. So yeah, so I like a lot of times I've got, like, if I've got super long hair and I've cut it here, I'll just grab that bottom part because it doesn't look pretty. These tips are all going to get cut off. I'm not going to put this in a stacker because it's not laying down nice. I don't give a crap about it. I don't put it tips this way. I try and put the tips this way just because I find it's easier to cut it in the end. But I've got a decent clump here. If you can too, you can grab like a brush. I don't find mine, and get all the little fuzzies out of here. And when you're ready, lay it down like this. And this is sort of probably the most crucial step on this. Again, I'm going to do 2 loose wraps. So I've got my 2 loose wraps. If you guys want to pay attention here, this is where I'm going to pull it down and start to spin it. And you can sort of see how that spreads out beautifully. So basically 2 loose wraps and then pull down. And sometimes this will, it'll even spin, which is what you want. Mine didn't spin, but I've got some great coverage all around here. So I'm pretty happy with how that laid down.
So to just clarify, we want the natural tips facing the hook eye,
Yeah.
and the part you cut towards the shank of the
Yeah.
hook, yes?
And the reason I do that is when I'm going to trim it, I can tell what's my wing and what isn't. If I had the tip the other way, I cut, I don't know, I just find it easier to cut. You know, you can do it however you like it. This is how I do it. You can sort of see with my fly, I've got tips out here, I've got the thick part here, and then I've got my tips here. It allows me to tell how far I need to cut.
Makes sense.
That's just the way I like to do it.
And now we get to get messy.
That's right. So if you got all that done, get a couple good wraps in there to secure it. Whip finish or use your fingers, however you tie a fly off.
Wow. That spun like crazy, man.
Yeah, if like it took me a while to figure it out. 2 loose wraps and pull tight, but not too hard. Especially with this thread, I've cut the deer hair before, and I've had to redo it. But 2 loose wraps and just a slight pull, and it works like a charm.
Huh. Looks like a hackle now.
Exactly, right? Okay.
And now we're whip finishing this bad boy.
Yeah, you're all done. If you've got a little like waste basket or like a shoebox or something, I recommend putting it down. Your significant other will be a lot happier with you.
No, my dog doesn't care.
There you go.
Just let her buck fly good vacuum.
Yeah. This is my preferred method of trimming deer hair. It's nice because I can bend it and shape it. Regular scissors work, or also a pair of curved scissors work as well. But you don't have them in your box, go to your local drugstore and pick up a pack of Wilkinson blades. And when you're ready, I bend it and I just start cutting hair. I hold my wing down to protect it. Again, if you don't have a razor, scissors work just fine.
Oh, I had to find my razors.
I had to try and play catch up here.
Yeah.
That's all right.
I had to run to the kid.
All right. Oh, wow.
Hanging. I think my wing's a little long, but
Yeah.
It's a big bug.
So you put a pretty small head on this, don't you, Jamie?
I do. So I've got it still pretty big here, but I'm just sort of getting that shape, and then I'm gonna hit it again. I'm gonna go around it again. A traditional muddler, as I say, like the one on my shirt's got a pretty big head, and it leaves like this stuff here. I cut this stuff out. I wanted to see the flash of the belly, like it looks more like a fry.
Right, yeah.
Right, where this is sort of imitating a head of a sculpin.
Good stuff.
But yes, so I've got my head pretty big here. I'm still going to trim it down more. Basically, I just want it the size of a fry head.
I haven't tried that razor trick yet. I should get some of those.
It works great. I'll still use scissors at the end here to get a couple of the ones I'm not happy with. Because if you go too far in, I'm going to get this wing and you ruin your wing.
Right.
But I'm not happy. I guess when I spun my hair, I screwed up my my wing here with the grizzly. It sort of came down around, but there we go.
Yeah, but you can cut that bottom part of the wing out and it's just like your head.
Yeah, but my my mallard came down around below it too.
Mallard came down. Oh, I see.
And that's the tricky part of using nano silk. It's slippery.
It doesn't grip the materials.
No.
I prefer it for spinning.
Oh, it's great for spinning, but that hackle didn't stay, or didn't stay where I wanted it to.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, so I've got the head down to where I want. I'm gonna grab my curved scissors and I'm gonna get in here and just clean up all these short and curlies here.
I like adding a little flashy in mine.
Yep, and really, you know, if you want a bigger head, do a bigger head, right? You know, it's perfectly fine. Probably good to have a couple with bigger heads and a couple with smaller heads in your box, different colors. And I would say mine's done.
Yeah, I've tied these in black and olive.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
just so I have extra different colors.
Yeah, so there's my finished one there.